Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadramai Jaya Sudarshana Jaya Jagannatha Jaya Baladeva Jaya Subhadramai Jaya Sudarshanam Jai Radha Shamasundar Radha Shamasundar Radhe Jaya Radha Shamasundar Radha Shamasundar Radhe Jaya Radha Madana Mohan Radha Madana Mohan Radhe Jai Radha Madana Mohan Radha Madana Mohan Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Radhe Jai Shri Radhe Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Prabhupada Gurudev Prabhupada Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hare Krishna, reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 9, the most confidential knowledge. Today's verses 32, 33 and 34, last three verses. We'll read text 32 first. Mam hi partha vipashritya yebi syu pavayonayam sriyo vaishyas tada shudras tebiyandi param gadim. Mam hi partha vipashritya yebi syu pavayonayam sriyo vaishyas tada shudras tebiyandi param gadim. Mam hi partha vipashritya yebi syu pavayonayam Striyo Vaishyas Tada Shudras Tevi Yandi Param Gadim. Hare Krishna. If you have the book, you can read. Translation. O son of Pradha, those who take shelter in me, though they may be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, as well as Shudras, workers, can oppose the supreme destination. 33. Kim Puna Brahmana Punya Bhakta Rajashayastada Anityam Asugam Logam Imam Prapya Bhajaswamam Kim Puna Brahmana Punya Bhakta Rajashayastada Anityam Asugam Logam Imam Prapya Bhajaswamam Kim Puna Brahmana Punya Bhakta Rajashayastada Anityam Sugam Lokam Prapya Bhajaswamam Imam Prapya Bhajaswamam. How much greater then are the Brahmanas, the righteous, the devotees, the saintly kings, who in this temporary miserable world engage in loving service unto me. 34. Manmanam bhavat bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishasi yukta ivam atmanam matparayana. Manmana bhavat bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishasi yukta ivam atmanam matparayana. Manmana bhavat bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishasi yukta ivam atmanam matparayana. Translation. Engage your mind always in thinking of me, offer obeisances and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chachurunmeridam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Mano Vishtam Sthavidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadadi Swapadam Digam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Udapadagamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Sahagana Raghunath Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Shvishaganvidamscha. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagalpade Gopesha Gopika Kanda Radha Kanda Namastude Taptakanjana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanasude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpadrubestigava Sindhuvyeva Patidanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimade Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Dinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pacharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Radhara Shri Vasadi Gauda Bhakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Mam hi partavevashritya yevi syupavayonaya Striyo Vaishastada Shudras Deviyandi Param Gadim. O son of Pradha, those who take shelter in me, though they may be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants, as well as Shudras, workers, can approach the supreme destination. So, with these three verses, we come to the end of the 9th chapter, which is titled as the most confidential knowledge, and which is one of the most important chapters of Bhagavad Gita. This is a real confidential knowledge is that Krishna can be approached, Krishna can be obtained only through pure devotion. And in this chapter, what is pure devotion is described in various verses in various places. And in the final account, it is said that also if a pure devotee somehow or other has some stains of his past life, and due to that he is doing abominable action, this should not be considered as a flaw in him. So Krishna says, Sadhu Reva Samandavya. Sadhu Reva Samandavya, because Bhajade Mam Ananya, he is worshipping me, exclusively worshipping Krishna only, and Samyak Vyavasita, because he is properly placed. That is the real reason. He is properly placed. When Krishna says that you should exclusively worship me, Then he also says he is properly placed, means this exclusive worship of Krishna is a right thing for a living entity. Is exactly the right thing for a living entity. So the living entity has realized himself, has realized Krishna, and thereby when he is pursuing Krishna, he is properly placed in his original position. So whatever little flaws are the material flaws, now you are properly situated, and that is the biggest thing. When you are properly situated worshipping Krishna, the minor material flaws like fall on some kind of abominable actions is immaterial. It's not very significant. But our tendency is that when we see some flaw in a devotee, we make a big advertisement, hue and cry. Oh, that fallen there is he's supposed Krishna devotee. And now what is he doing? Now he's doing all these nasty things. And he's claiming himself to be a Vaishnava. And he's claiming himself to be a devotee. Oh, others consider him as a Vaishnava or devotee. But what is his action? Krishna says that because he is properly situated, he is to be considered a devotee. Devotee means one who has realized that he is the eternal servant of Krishna and acting in that capacity. That is a proper situation. And when you are properly situated, worshipping Krishna, naturally purification will happen slowly. And whatever residues of past vasanas, impressions will be wiped out, eradicated completely, and will shine like molten gold. Chipram bhavati dharmatma, shashat sandhim nigachari, kaunteya. So he is very pure. Now Krishna says, you go and announce this to matas who are always looking for faults, who are expert in fault finding. Krishna asks Arjuna, you go and announce, declare boldly that my devotee will never fall. Others may fall, but devotee will not fall because he is properly placed. And when he is properly placed, Krishna will take care of him because he has got a direct link with Krishna now. So Krishna will protect him. So Arjuna says, okay, Krishna, I understand this. So what is remarkable about this? See, he is a person who is almost a pure devotee. He has some old habits are there due to his past life actions. So making him pure, what is so remarkable about this? It's almost pure, almost 99% is pure. Then you are saying you're making 100% pure. So what is so remarkable? So Krishna, in reply to the question, he says, this sloga, Mam Hipata Vibhashitya. Not only him, not only this devotee, the saintly person, but the fallen soul, the Papa Yona, people in this sinful, who has been brought up in the lower birth or who was born in sinful families. Even they, like women, Vaishyas and Shudras, and people below also. Now, women is classified, actually, Vaishyas, Shudras, Brahmana, and Kshatriya, it's this Varnashram system only. And everybody categorized according to the gunas. Brahmanas are predominantly sattvic in nature. Kshatriyas are predominantly rajasic in nature. Vaishyas are in between. I mean, they are 50% logistic and 50% tamasic. And Vaishyas, Shudras are predominantly tamoguna, the mode of ignorance. Women also classified according to in this classification, like Vaishyas and Shudras, because women generally are subject to mode of passion and mode of ignorance. And so their actions may not be properly in tune with Shastras. So a chance of making mistakes, errors can be there. More body-oriented group like Vaishyas and Shudras. Now below them, this is at least in the Varnashrama system. But below this Varnashrama system, we have another category, which are basically generally classified as Chandalas or Mlechas. There are 9 such types, 9 such groups are there that we have seen in Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 4th chapter and 18th verse. Kirada Hundandra Pulinda Pulkasha Abhira Shumbha Yavana Kasadaya. Kiradas, barbarian types, tribals. Kirada known basically tribals. Hunas, they come from the Eastern Europe or Middle Europe countries. Hungary, Germany, that belt. Andhra is in India only. Andhra. Pulinda Pulkasha. They are also parts of some parts of the world, basically India only. And Abhira are people residing near the Abhira mountains, nowadays called Arabia. Shumbha, Yavana, these are people residing in Turkey and Greece, that areas. And Khazars are Mongolians. They are not part of the Varnashrama system. They are not following the rules and regulations. They're not doing any prescribed duties of this Varnashrama system. They are living a nomadic life without any regulations and restrictions, and prone to do sinful activities all the time. So they are very sinful in nature, and it's very difficult for anyone to show the right path, make them righteous persons, is very difficult. But Srimad Bhagavatam says, pure devotees who are directly connected to Krishna, who has taken power from Krishna. Shuddhedi Smart Prabha Vishnave Nama. Yebi Anya Baba Yet Apashayashaya. Apashayashaya. One is that the Babis who are depending or taken shelter, or the devotees who have taken shelter of Krishna. The pure devotees always take shelter of Krishna. And if you take shelter of such a devotee, then it becomes Apashayashaya. So such a pure devotee who has eternal shelter of Krishna is Srila Prabhupada. And then he has shown the whole world how Srimad Bhagavatam is very true. The words of Srimad Bhagavatam is very true because it's a science, it's not based on sentiments or emotions. Dharma Kaida Pojihda, Srimad Bhagavatam, very beginning itself, kicks out this kind of nonsense philosophies, emotions, sentiments, etc., etc. No place for these things in Srimad Bhagavatam, because Srimad Bhagavatam is a pure science. And if you read Srimad Bhagavatam, you don't have to read anything else. So Srimad Bhagavatam, words of Srimad Bhagavatam is always true, and that has been proved true when Srila Prabhupada started ISKCON and converted millions and millions of nomadic people, sinful people, mechas, yavanas, all the people who converted them to devotees. So people have got disagreeable qualities, who is not tuned to Shastra. They can also, Krishna says, Sriyo Vaishyas Tadashudas Tevi Yandi Param Gadim, because if they taken shelter of me via a pure devotee, then they can also be elevated to the higher position. Not only people who are devotees, pure devotees, like previously discussed in the 30th and 31st verses. These people are also sinful activities can also be saved. Then Krishna says, in that case, so if this is so, it's true in the case of so much sinful persons, then what about Kim? Then what about Puna, Brahmana, Punya, Bhakta, Rajashtara? Then what about devotees who are having Brahmanical qualities and like a saintly kings? Devotees who are like Brahmanical, they are, so many devotees are there who are shining Brahmanas. Many of the acharyas are Brahmanas. Shankaracharya, Madhvacharya, Ramanacharya, everyone is Brahmanas. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also has come from Brahmanic family. Or Srila Prabhupada also hails from Brahmana family. Bhaktivinoda Thakura, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami, Rupa Goswami, Sanatana Goswami. There are others also who are people not from Brahmana family, like we have the Raghunath Dasa Goswami. So, saintly Brahmanical people are there, and or people like having the Brahmanical quality, like Nadas Goswami is considered the highest Vaishnava. So, devotees like Oshad Goswamis, Acharyas, Srila Prabhupada, what to speak of them? And saintly kings, Arjuna is a saintly king. He is a king and he's very saintly. These people, having come to this temporary and miserable world, Anityam Asugam Logam Prapya, somehow or other, we all come to this miserable world. And so the only thing that is required to be done when you are in this situation is to worship Krishna only, doing nothing else. So Arjuna is born to a royal family. So Krishna says, okay, take this service and come back quickly to me. No one should remain in this temporary world. This is a temporary world only, created exclusively for purpose of correcting fallen souls. It is world, it's part of Krishna's energy only, although it can be taken back, it's temporary, created solely for the purpose of correction. Since it is energy of Krishna, though temporary, it is to be considered as real only, because the sufferings are real. Some philosophers consider this world to be false, not true, which is not true. In the 8th chapter, as well as 9th chapter, 8th chapter 15, and 9th chapter, this particular verse 32, the 8th chapter is called Ashashvatam Dukhalayam. Here it is called Anityam Asukham. So Anityam, Ashashvatam, both are mentioned, temporary and not permanent. Only devotees or demons consider this world to be false. It's mentioned in the 16th chapter, 8th verse. Asatyam apradishtam de jagadahu anishwaram. Te ahu. Te means when Krishna is describing the qualities of demons. So they consider this world to be asatyam, false. But that is not true. It's temporary, it's miserable, it's full of miseries, while the real world is permanent and full of bliss. So this is a very poor reflection, weird reflection of the real world, this temporary world. So, because this temporary world is existing, we have a clue that a real world is also existing. You see a reflection of moon in the water. The reflection is not a moon, but there is a real moon there. So moon is there and reflection is also there. When you consider reflection to be true, then that's wrong. So Krishna says, once you come to this temporary world, your only duty is only your work, only job, so only business. Your only business is to worship me only, nothing else. If we forget that and get engaged in some other business, that will prolong our engagement. So Krishna says, don't do it. He says, Bhajaswamam. Remember, Bhajaswamam. How to worship him? Next verse, Krishna says, Manmana bhav madbhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. Mam evaishasi yuktva atmanam matparayana. Manmana, always think about me. Constantly. Now, a servant of a king, he may be an employee in the payroll of the king. And as long as when he is working in his office, he will be thinking about the king and the king's instructions. But when he goes back to his house, he'll be engaged in the service of his family members. He'll be thinking about the family members only. But Krishna says, now in case in my service, you think about only me only, nothing else, nobody else. So that is the meaning of manmana. Constantly think of Krishna, doing nothing, think of nothing else. Think of Krishna only. Bhava mad bhakto, become my devotee. So we can understand that bhakta means one who is always thinking of Krishna. And when he is a devotee, then he is always worshipping Krishna, Madhyaji. And the worship, one of the a leg of worshipping is paying obeisances. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Smaranam, Padasayan, Archanam, Vandanam. Vandanam is a, Vandanam means we are namaskaram. Mamevesh yuktva ivam. So Krishna says, you will come back to me because you are having me as supreme. Matparayana. Now, some people have miscalled Manmana as that Krishna is having a mind. When they say that Krishna is having a mind, then they say that Krishna's mind and Krishna's soul is different from Krishna, the body Krishna. So they're trying to make a distinction between Krishna's body and Krishna's soul and Krishna's intelligence. Which is a great offense on their part. Because there is absolutely no difference between Krishna's body, Krishna's mind, Krishna's soul. And that is confirmed by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami in his Anubhasha commentary of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adilila verses 41 to 48. He is quoting from Kurma Purana. Deha dehi vibhedo ayam neshvara vidyate kvachit. In God, there is no distinction between the body and the occupier of the body. Body and the person who is occupying the body. Deha is body. Dehi means one who is residing this body. One who is residing the body is a soul. Dehi is soul. Deha is body. So there is no distinction. There is no difference between the body and soul in the case of Krishna. In case of normal living entities, and Krishna is also a living entity, but Krishna is a special living entity. Nityo Nityanam Chaitanas Chetananam. So Krishna, there is no difference wherever he appears, whenever he appears, in whichever parts of spiritual world, whether spiritual world or material world, when he appears, when he's there, he's always there and he's situated, completely situated in his spiritual potency, internal potency, be he in his Goloka Vrindavan or be he in his material world. That doesn't make any difference at all. But fallen souls like us, when we fall down to material world, we are forced to have a body which is material. So naturally, there is a difference between our body and our soul. And these unscrupulous, uneducated, unrealized, who pose as great scholars, they also say that Krishna, there is a distinction between Krishna's body and Krishna's soul. So they don't have no idea of Krishna science, the science of Krishna. But devotee, Krishna says that devotee should not do that. Devotee should always worship Krishna in a favorable way. I mean, thinking about Krishna, understanding Krishna as he is, first of all, and then always think of Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's high, fine qualities, Krishna's names, Krishna's superior, ultra fine form. Which can bewilder crores and crores of Kamadevas. So devotee should always think of Krishna in that terms and then render worship in a favorable way. Not consider Krishna as an enemy like Kamsa was doing. So if you have to understand Krishna favorably, then worship Krishna favorably, then you have to understand Krishna properly, and that knowledge can come only from bona fide source through the real scriptures and explained by or realized by saints and explained by spiritual masters. Or if you are understanding Krishna from wrong source, then it will be very difficult. So one should always think about Krishna in his eternal form, the Shama Sundara form. Absolute truth is that Krishna is having an eternal Shama Sundara form. That is the first aspect of absolute truth. Then you should be one fully absorbed in Krishna without deviation. Manmana. This will help one to shift his consciousness from material world to Krishna's world. So one should not be deviated by unscrupulous commentators, or they were reading these commentaries. No, he should be influenced by sinful persons or karmis or jnanis or yogis. Ananya means no other process but devotion. And one must very strictly follow these 9 paths, the Navadha, different forces of 9 different forces of devotional service. So when you do that, the Mam Evashis Yuktayvam will definitely come back to me only. So this is the conclusion of this chapter. Always think out Krishna, then you'll go back to Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. And random Narasim Kirtan. Namaste Narasimhaya Praladadadayine Hiranyakashi Purnataham Latangam Nakala ito na simha Yamita to na simha Mahena simor dayena Madim sharanam prabhare Atara kamalavare nakam Albuda sundam Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanu Bringam Keshabhadridhanara Hari Rupa Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Jai Jagadisha Hare Janasimha De Jayo Narsimha De Jayo Narsimha De Jayo Narsimha De Janara Hari Jayo Nara Hari Jayo Nara Hari Jayo Nara Hari Jaya Lakshmi Nara Simha Jayo Lakshmi Nara Simha Lakshmi Nara Simha Jayo Lakshmi Nara Simha Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jayo Prahlad Maharaj Jayo Prahlad Maharaj Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Shuddha Bhakti Vinashagari Shri Narasimha Bhavani ki Jai Vaishnava Bhakti Shesh Pralad Maharaj ki Jai Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Julam Dam Sarvadomukam Narasimham Vishnam Bhadram Mrityum Mrityum Namamiham Shri Narasimha Jai Narasimha Jai Jai Shri Narasimha Praladesha Jai Padma Mukha Padma Bhakta Go Preman Panchakalpadravasti Kraba Sindhubhyo Chapaidanam Pavane Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namo Nanda Gori Vaishnava Ki Jai